Hello, everyone who's joined us. We are just going to give people a couple more minutes to join. We have a small group today, only about 20. So we'll see how many people make it, and then we will go ahead and start our webinar, which should take about 10, 15 minutes, and then we'll have time for some questions. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Carrie Campbell, and I am the Assistant Director for Communications for University Housing. And I have one of our students with us, Rissa. Rissa, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Rissa.
Rissa is what, you're going to be a junior?
Yep, I'm a rising third year
Okay.
apart and street team member for UGA Housing.
Yeah, so we do have a number of students who work for us in a lot of capacities, and our street team is the students who produce our social media for the housing social media accounts. So Riss is going to be in the background answering questions you have that you put in the QA that you type into there, but she's also here for a student perspective. So if you have any questions specific for her as a student, she can give you that perspective as well. So we're going to go through a little presentation. It shouldn't take too long, maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then we'll have time for questions at the end. But before then, let me get to my next screen. If you have questions as I'm going, you can put those in the Q&A box. If you are on a desktop, you may see it at the top or the bottom of your screen in the little menu bar. If you're on a mobile device, you may have to tap on the screen to get the Q&A icon to appear, and you can just type in there. And if at any point, my head is in the way of what you're trying to read, then go ahead and drag me around as well. All right. So y'all probably know this by now, since we are, I think, 17 days away from the first day of move-in, but students have self-selected their housing during online appointment times based on the date that they registered for housing. Here's the kind of timeline of how that happens. Everyone's has a space now. We're just doing some room changes, which I will talk about in a minute. As we proceed through the summer, I would put here when the last appointment time was, but everyone has an assignment now, which is yay, a good goal for us. All right, so for those of you that do have your assignments and have submitted room change requests, I'm going to talk a little bit about how that process works, because we get a lot of those questions at this time of the year. If you have a room change request pending, which you can, as a student, submit in the doghouse where you registered and when you chose your space, then we are offering those kind of continuously throughout the summer. Every day we're doing those as we can. And we will do that up until probably maybe a week before move-in. So we're getting down to the wire. And then we kind of pause for a moment, let everyone move into their space, and then we will resume offering those room changes. We offer those in the order of which the request was made. It matters like where you want to go. If you want to go to a popular hall or a very small hall, there'll be less chance. If you want to move with a roommate, it's always harder to find two spaces than it is to find one person. And then, of course, when the request was made will make a difference if you're offered a room change or not as well. We're not automatically going to change those rooms. Check your UGA email. We will email you with an offer. We'll say, hey, you're next on the list for this. Would you like it? You need to reply by the deadline in the email, and then you'll get a new contract and bam, your room is changed. I will say that we're 100% full. Like we are 100% full. So keep in mind that in order for you to move into a space, that means someone wanted to move out of that exact space as well. So just keep that in mind. The popular buildings that always people are trying to go to would be Russell, Blackdale and Miller, Brumby, Rutherford. Those are always really popular, but you can check where you are on the waiting list. I believe in the doghouse, you can see where you are on the waiting list. So that's kind of how those go. They will roll over when the semester starts, and we'll continue offering them. You can at any point tell us you don't want to be on that list anymore. Like if you've moved in and you're like, never mind. But you also have the option to submit a room change request at any point during the year for any reason as well. And we honor those the same way. All right, now we're talking about move-in, which is kind of everybody's big concern at the moment. So move-in begins August 11th, runs through 9 a.m. on the 16th. If you would like to move in the August 13th or 12th, 11th, 12th, or 13th, you will need an arrival time. That is so that we do not have 9,000 people try to show up at the same time. That is not fun for anyone, and it's hot, and we don't want to do that anymore. So if you do want to move one of those first 3 days, which are that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which are always the most popular days, you do need arrival time. Make sure you've chosen your arrival time by August 8th. If you are participating in sorority recruitment, not fraternity recruitment, but sorority recruitment, then you should have a priority arrival time on August 11th. If we had your name and Greek Life gave us your name as a participant, you should have been able to see arrival times and choose one then. If you were not able to snag one on the 11th, give us a call and we will work through that with you so that you can get to your recruitment events. All right, I'll talk a little bit more about Welcome UGA later, but do know that there will be events happening beginning that 11th of August. Welcome.uga.edu is the place to go for all those events that will happen the first couple months of school. And then just know that when you check in within 48 hours, please let us know if there's something wrong with your room. We've inspected them all at that point, but we're humans too, so we may miss something. If there's your blinds are broken or there's a piece of furniture missing or something, please let us know within 48 hours, and we will take care of that. All right, so again, arrival time is required if you're moving in those first 3 days. Make sure you do that by August 8th. If you are moving in on the 14th or the 15th, so Monday, Tuesday, or before 9 a.m. on Wednesday, which is the first day of class, you do not need an arrival time. And that is because we know that the crowds will kind of have died down by then. And also those are work days for those of us who work on campus. So parking is going to be a little bit tighter as well. So here's what it looks like if you have an arrival time. If you're arriving outside of the arrival time process, on one of those later days, it'll be a little bit easier. You'll basically just park wherever you can find a space and then check in. There's no unloading zones or anything like that. So first, plan to arrive during your arrival times. If your arrival time is 10:15 in the morning, just plan to be there about 10:15 in the morning. Those arrival times are in 15-minute intervals, so it just means that there's like 5 people checking in every 15 minutes or so, depending on what building you're on. So that's just the time we want you to kind of show up, pick up your key. Only students can pick up their key. You cannot pick up your roommate's key. You cannot pick up your child's key or your grandchild's key or your boyfriend's key or whatever. Students must pick up their key and show their UGA ID. And then you will have 1 hour to park in an unloading zone. So the unloading zones are closer to the buildings. You will get a paper pass for that with your phone number so that we can harass you if you do not leave the unloading zone within your hour. So make sure you just kind of concentrate on getting all your stuff out of the car and to the room in that first hour. And then you'll move your car to long-term parking, which is still near the building, but not as easy for loading and unloading. It's usually in a deck or a large surface lot. So make sure you're moving after an hour. They will tow people, like they will tow people. We have people coming, like I said, every 15 minutes. So it's really crucial that people are paying attention to those times for their unloading zones. So you'll move your car to long-term parking, and after that, you have as long as you like to continue moving in, setting up your room. Like if you want to go to Target, make a Target run, go to the dining hall, whatever, feel free. But at that point, you are a resident, and you can come and go as you please. There's not like a time frame in which you like have to have everything moved in and set up. So again, continue to move in and set up your belongings as long as you like. We will have carts available as well. And I want to share this with you. I'm going to stop my screen share for a second so I can go to the move-in page. So this is the move-in page on the housing website. If you just go to housing.uga.edu, I don't know why it's pretending I'm mobile, but it thinks I am. You can scroll down to move-in. That's where we are. This has all the information on the before move-in, during, after. Now, if I go to during move-in, I should see everything about unloading zones. If I go to before move-in, I should see, let me go back. I should see, I might have to refresh my browser because I go to this all the time. The list of the individual halls should have, okay, well, if I don't have them on here, they will be there tomorrow. The list, so if you're in Hill Hall, there'll be a link on here with information specific to Hill Hall. I don't know why that's not on here or showing up for me at the moment, but I will fix that for tomorrow. Go to the move in and you'll find your specific building and you'll be able to see that on there. Oh, you guys can't see her. I know that. Hold on. Thanks, Rissa. Hold on. Now I can't find where my Zoom window is. Technology is fun. Okay. Ta-da. Okay, now you can see it, I think. Okay. Anyway, so University Housing, move in, boop. Right here, down here before move in, there will be a list for every single building. Rissa's like, you got it, Carrie. Sorry. Forgot to share once I switched, and y'all are just sitting there like this lady. So look for that on there. I'm pretty sure it's got to be, oh, there they are, move-in pages. So there you go. So if I click on this link, I'll have a move-in page specific for Mary Linden. It's got updates and alert. It'll have occupancy, closest, like you can see all the stuff there specific for Mary Linden Hall. Here's a map about parking. Here's where the unloading zones are. Here's where the long-term parking is. So that is there for every single building. On August 2nd, we will also send this out in an email, and I will post it to the parent and family blog that undergraduate admissions runs as well. All right, I'm going to stop that share and try to go back to my other share and continue with our lives. Let's see. So difficult. Okay, got it. Okay, we're doing it. All right. So before move in, make sure you're reading the community guide. The new community guide is up today. So it has all the updated policies and everything about what you need to know, what you can bring, what you can't bring, how you can decorate and how you can't decorate. Make sure you're reading that if you have elaborate decoration plans. It's not the most exciting 32 pages ever written, but do give it a skim just in case you have those plans, and also because it is part of the residence hall contract. So you are, as a student who signed a contract, beholden to the terms in the community guide. Micro chills I want to mention as well. You can bring your own fridge or microwave or not. It's up to you. We do have a vendor that we work with, and they're called Micro Chill. That's like the brand name. College Products is the name of the company. If you order by August 1st, they will have that in the room before you move in. If you are in Reed, Payne, or Brown, you already have one of these in there. It's not charged. We do not charge you for those ones. They're just in there. And then if you are in an apartment in East Campus Village or UV East, you will also have like a full-size fridge. So just keep those in mind as well. And then once you have a UGA card, we encourage you to set up your PIN number. So you will have access to your building by kind of waving your card in front of the access reader at the secure door, and then entering a PIN number and then a pound sign or a hashtag if you're Gen Z. So that's how you get into the building. Once the hassle of moving stops for the day, which, people appointment times stop at probably, I think 6, those doors will be locked and you will not be able to follow people in and out. So make sure you set up that pin so you don't get locked out of your building. I like to tell people to check out our YouTube channel. If you've got any questions or you're like, what does it like living on campus, or you want a better look at your building, y'all have been great about finding this on your own. So I appreciate the initiative. So we do have 360 tours on there. We also have some first year, first look videos made by one of our street team members that are all about the process and living on campus as well. So take a look at those. And then finally, I want to talk about a few events that are going to be happening early on. So Dog Fest is actually August 13th. That's the Sunday, 6:30 p.m. on Myers Quad. And if you are looking at this picture and thinking, is that person riding a mechanical bulldog? Yes, you would be right. She is riding a mechanical bulldog. They have that at Dog Fest along with carnival games and food and prizes. And it's just like everybody comes out as like kind of the first big event on Myers Quad. So look for that. It is sponsored by Residence Hall Association, which is a group of students living on campus. And then Welcome UGA events will be happening for each building or community. It depends on how big your building is. I encourage you to follow your specific building's Instagram account for those. So they'll be like a high-rise festival, and then there'll be a Myers festival, and there'll be one at East Campus Village. Like there'll be a big movie on the quad night. So you're welcome to go to any of those, but they all happen simultaneously on the same day. So just be looking for those as well. And then early on, they will start community council elections as well. So if you've done student government in high school, so SGA, you'd be familiar with kind of what community council does. They are for individual communities or buildings, again, depending on how big the building or the community is. And it's an elected position. They have a budget. They're deciding on events. They're deciding on people to bring in to do programming. They're deciding, do we want to buy t-shirts, or do we want to buy mugs for everyone, or do we want to rent a bouncy house? Like, it's really fun to get involved in a community council. So keep an eye out for those elections. I think that's all I have. I did want to ask Rissa a couple of questions. Oh, I did forget this one. People ask me this all the time, so I put it on here. So the process for living on campus next year also starts. Look for information in late November, early December of this year. You don't have to choose at that point, but people always ask. It is a pretty competitive process, and we do not have room for everyone. So make sure you're looking for that if you are interested in living on campus again. All right, now, Rissa, I'm gonna have a couple questions preemptively for you since we've got a quiet crowd.
Yeah.
Can you tell me like a key piece of advice you would give people, not necessarily about move-in, but about like their first like few months on campus?
First few months, I would definitely say like go to a bunch of events. It's a great place to meet people. You during those first few weeks, everybody's in the same boat, we're all, going, even if we've already been on campus, we're going to a new dorm or we're living somewhere new. So go to the events and sign up for clubs. And like I signed up for a bunch, and then I kind of went to a few meetings and then narrowed it down to the few that I fell in love with. And so I would really encourage, to get involved. I think getting involved has made my experience at UGA like so amazing. And I'm like so sad that I only have like this year and next year left. I'm like
That's good advice. So is there anything you would recommend people to bring that they may forget or not to bring because you don't need that?
Um, Definitely, for me, I brought way too many shoes and clothes. I definitely like forgot that you are gonna go home for Christmas. There are gonna be breaks, and it's easier to have a little bit of a smaller laundry load and just don't bring as much because you will be going home and just kind of trade stuff out is
Yeah,
definitely key advice.
that's a good point. Like I usually tell people like what they do, especially if you're from out of state or flying in, like bring your summer fall stuff and then switch it out at winter break and bring your, winter stuff and then switch it out at spring break. And like, that's way easier than bringing everything you think you need all at one time.
Way easier. It was really
Yeah.
hard to move back with all the things that I had brought.
Yes. People also forget that we have stores in Athens. I don't
Yes.
know if you're aware of this, but we have Target, we have Walmart, we have like Home Depot, we have an at home, like if you want furniture, like we have stores and we have the Amazon comes here as well. So
That's both good and bad.
right, like if you forget something, it's okay. And if you don't have a car, that's also okay because you're about to make, you know, 500 new friends.
Oh yeah, I barely used my car. It
Yeah,
was just walk places, have meet new people. I mean, meet new
yeah,
people, and then you're just like, hey, if you're at Tate, like, oh, let's go downtown to Zombie and get some donuts. It's also fun. You should definitely just try to meet as many people as you can.
yeah. And we're giving y'all time to think of your questions and put them there in the Q&A while we're still here. But it looks like you will get out a little early and get some of your life back. I will say for something people should not bring that they think they need would be like a printer. Don't
Yes,
bring a
we brought
printer.
one.
Don't
We
bring a
brought one and
printer.
sent it back.
Yeah, I mean, because one, you're gonna be always out of ink and paper, or
Hmm.
everyone on in your hall is gonna come be your friend on your room trying to use your printer. It takes up space, and you can print in your dorm. Like you can print in your dorm, you can print in the dining hall, you can print at the Tate Center, you can print in whatever building your classroom is in. There's always like a printing station where nearby where you can print from the cloud. So I like just do not bother
And
with
I've
that.
gotten this question a lot on tours for incoming freshmen. And I know all y'all will read it soon in your community guide, but air fryers are not allowed. And so
Right.
that has been a question is if y'all can bring air fryers and you can't do that. So I had
If
mine
you're in
taken.
University Village, you actually can, but that's not that
Okay.
many people
Yeah.
in
So
University
most
Village.
most people can't bring air fryers. So
Right. I know. Oh, no,
don't
that's
bring
disappointing. But honestly,
it.
if you have a meal plan, which most students do, you don't have to, you're not going to be cooking in your room anyways. Just you go to the dining hall whenever you want to, and that's where your friends are.
I've
That's
been
where you
in the
study.
community kitchen twice.
Yeah.
That's it.
I
So
know. It's
food's
always
good.
like, we're gonna make cookies at 1 o'clock on a Saturday night or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
That's when, but never for food.
Right,
So
exactly. Not real food. Yeah.
yeah, not real food, just for
You're not meal
cookies.
prepping. Okay, we have one question. Let's see. Maybe a question for parking. Where do you pay to park in Athens for the year? And so if you don't have a spot on campus, there are private parking lots. I honestly don't know what just happened? How people find those? Do you know, Rissa?
I've seen on Athens Clark County, and when I talked to a booth at orientation, Athens Clark County, I believe on their transportation website, they had
Okay,
some listed.
good to
Um,
know.
so I believe that that's based off of the information I got. I think that they have some listed,
Okay.
and I think Park and Ride you can also get from
Yeah,
there as
I
well.
think that may be true. Like there's several park and ride lots where the
Yeah,
UJ
there's
bus
one
goes
towards
or the Athens bus goes. Yeah.
yeah, there's another one towards the expressway as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And so if you don't already know this, riding the UJ bus is obviously free, but also riding the Athens Clark County bus is free. It's not just free for students right now, it's free for everyone. So that's nice for everyone. So a lot of people do that as well, and you can get a parking ride, but that's a good question I have not seen before. I don't see any other things in the Q&A. This is our last webinar, but don't feel like this is their last chance to get your questions answered. You can DM us on Instagram. You can email us. I don't know why it stopped sharing, but I'm gonna put it back up there. You can, chat us on the housing website, or call our office. We're open 8 to 5 weekdays. So please let us know. We really want to answer your questions and make you and your students feel comfortable about where they're going to move to very soon. So I'm going to call this an end. Oh, we got one more question. Do you recommend an air purifier in the dorm? We don't recommend them. You can bring one if it makes you, why does it keep doing that? I don't know. You can bring one if it makes you feel comfortable. Honestly, when people are getting sick in the buildings, it's because they're living in a building with 500 or 1,000 other people. Because we do air quality testing pretty regularly. So, you will hear of people are like, oh, I've had a stuffy nose since I got here, or I've had a cold or for a month and a half, and that's because you're living with 1,000 other people and you need to probably wash your hands a little bit more. It takes some getting used to. It's like, I remember when I had kids in like in preschool, like in daycare, I was like, I've had every germ known to man, and that's kind of what it is in the dorms as well. So up to you if that makes you feel more comfortable. But honestly, like I said, we do air quality testing, so I would feel fine living there without one, and I'm allergic to everything in the world. So all right. Again, let us know if you have any more questions through our other means of communication. And I appreciate everybody joining us today. Thank you, Rissa, for
Bye.
taking some time, and go dogs.